Hello, welcome. Now, about a week or two ago, I made a video talking about Clair Obscure Expedition 33, and I talked about Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. And to update you guys, if you are not aware about the gaming scene, these games has become a smashing success and hit in the gamer sphere. So I will be making a video about Expedition 33. I do have gameplay on that. I have my initial impressions. I want to talk about that game. To sum it up, it's a fun game. The visuals is really nice. It's sort of like a fantasy, kind of reminds me of like a Final Fantasy, even though I never really touch those games, but it looks like that, I think. And the combat is fun. I talked about how I thought the quick time events would be annoying. No, it's pretty simple in this. But people are loving the game. It's a big success. It's on Game Pass, so if you have Game Pass, that's an incredible value. So if you can, you should check out that game. If you like story-driven narrative and a turn-based combat and world building and kind of deep character development, and yeah, it's a good game so far. I have nothing really bad I can say. The character models feel kind of bland in a way. I think the motion capture on the faces are cool, but that's sort of my only complaint. Minor one is just like a nitpick, I would say. So the Elder Scrolls Oblivion comes out, and that's all I see people talking about in the gamersphere, as I previously stated. And people are loving it. People are trying to say that it should be called a remake rather than a remaster. But the developers have stayed true to the source material. They didn't change much. They didn't remake it. They only remaster it. And when you remaster something, you're just sort of upgrading the graphics. When you're remaking something, you're upping the graphics and you're tweaking things within the core game that makes it different enough to be something separate. So I don't know what that sentiment's about, because from what I've seen and what I've heard, everything that was in the game previously is exactly how you remember it, with higher resolution, higher fidelity, and higher graphics, and higher and upgraded UI and things like that. So I'm excited to see. It wasn't Bethesda. I think it was like this. They outsourced this this remake or remaster to, I think it's a Vitriol company, and they were able to get their hands on it and make something magical for the team. And I think going forward, when Bethesda's able to drop, I think the next Skyrim is what they plan to drop next. People are going to compare how they treated Oblivion to the next Skyrim, or the next Elder Scrolls in the future, wherever they're going to call that one, that entry. And since it was a different people who made it in this sense, I wonder how they will compare these two in the future going forward. Now, we have some new Borderlands 4 content. They've released a gameplay trailer and a gameplay deep dive trailer. Now, Borderlands as a series has been a pretty solid series in my life that I've played. I don't particularly play these games for the story. I just play them with friends for the experience and for the looter shooter cycle. I played some of 1, I played some of 2, I played all through 3, beating most of the DLC. I think I have a couple left, and then I played Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. So this Borderlands entry that's coming out later this year is looking very enticing, very nice. We have one of the big complaints in the last entry is that the story kind of took a nosedive, kind of kamikazed itself. It had some cringy bosses, cringy characters in it. So I just hear that Borderlands 2 was sort of the pinnacle of the Borderlands franchise as far as story, loot, gameplay. So hopefully we're able to get some of that back with Borderlands 4. Now, Borderlands 4's deep dive, it's giving me sort of Destiny vibes. Borderlands 3 already gave me those vibes, but Borderlands 4 is even giving me Destiny vibes even more. They changed how you use your vehicles. You can summon it at any time, like a sparrow. I think that's what it's called in Destiny. It's basically this hover bike that you can spawn in at any time. There's a fast teleport. You can teleport to your peers as quick as possible. And they also said that they have couch co-op is coming back in Borderlands 4. Now, I didn't know that couch co-op was not present in Borderlands 3. Somebody can tell me otherwise, but this is a good addition to sort of a dying ecosystem. Couch co-op sort of started going out the window once I think people started pushing their tech more and more to the brink. But I think now that graphical stuff is kind of plateauing, we're able to implement these systems back into the game. You see, Halo Infinite was supposed to have couch co-op, and they sold us a false promise, essentially. So that was a lot of backlash with that when Halo promised a couch co-op feature, and they were working on it, and we never got the couch co-op feature. They also took long to add co-op campaign to the game. The Halo Infinite wasn't finished when it came out. Nevertheless, this new Borderlands entry is looking very good. Again, I hope the story's good. The gunplay was pretty good in 3. Like, the gun feel was pretty good in 3 and Tiny Tina's. So hopefully they're able to expand on that gunplay experience. I love the silly weapons with the companies who make the different guns. There's a lot of variety in the weapons, and there's going to be some deep RPG mechanics with that game. So I'm looking forward to this entry later today. It may be one of the bigger first-person shooter games of all time. Of this year. Besides Doom. I don't know how Doom's going to be, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Borderlands 3 will probably beat Doom in the first-person shooter department. So that's my theory. Now, the Doom: The Dark Ages is coming out this month on Game Pass, and I'm really looking forward to the Doom: The Dark Ages. The Doom series has really been the pinnacle of single-player first-person experiences, and I expect nothing less from this entry. The gameplay looks slowed down a bit from this last entry, but throughout the series they sort of make different type of first-person games within their franchise. I'm looking forward for them to make a sort of slower tactical shooter, kind of like 3, if they even do that. But Doom: The Dark Ages will be one of the biggest games of this year, so keep that on your radar. If you have Game Pass, get ready to get it later this month, and we'll see how well it does. I think it's going to be pretty well. I feel like it's going to be kind of a letdown from the last game, because people are going to want that fast-paced, high octane gameplay. but with a bit more slower boots on the ground experience, it's going to really offer something different while maintaining a lot of the core mechanics of the previous game, just with a more slower, methodical gameplay.